House Democrats are moving forward with an impeachment hearing, announcing this morning 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Now, Democrats are saying that the president put U.S. elections and national security at risk by withholding military aid to Ukraine in exchange for investigating his rival, Joe Biden. And Rick Newman joins us now to discuss. So, Rick, will impeachment actually happen?
Yes.
Wow.
It seems like a foregone conclusion at this point. I don't think Nancy Pelosi would be doing this. I don't think she would have gotten this far or let the House get this far if she didn't think this was going to happen. So it seems pretty clear we're going to see a purely partisan vote on impeachment. Democrats have a majority in the House. And I mean, they're going to impeach President Trump, and it looks like it's going to happen before the end of the year. And that's only part of the process, of course. Then it goes to the Senate,
right,
where it appears, based on what we know now, the Senate will not convict Trump. The most likely outcome is that Trump remains in office, the way Bill Clinton did back in 1998.
Right. And so, and I don't mean this cynically, but what does this really lead to? What does it do?
You're allowed to be cynical. I think a lot of Americans are. Yeah, from the Democrats' perspective, there were obvious problems. I mean, to me, this clearly does look like abuse of power by Trump in the White House. It does appear that he tried to get everybody he could control to cover up for him. So I think from Nancy Pelosi's perspective, or the Democrats' perspective, if they had done nothing, Congress would not be fulfilling its duty. You know, an important part of Congress's job is oversight of the executive branch. That's the way the whole U.S. government is set up. And for Pelosi and the Democrats to say, we don't think this is going to be a political winner, so we're not going to do this, I think they would not have been doing what their job is.
Sure.
So politically, where is this going to go? You know, you're hearing it on both sides. That on one hand, this might be a political loser for the Democrats because Americans are kind of turned off by the whole idea of impeachment, including not just Republicans, but some independent voters you're going to need to win the White House in 2020. But on the other hand, this might be hurting Trump's standing, not with those hardcore Republicans who are standing behind him at like 90%, but among, once again, independents and people in the middle who are the swing voters who are going to determine the next election. And the way I think about this is, we're still talking about an election that is 11 months away. So way before voters head to the polls in November, and actually before a lot of voters even start thinking about or paying attention to the race, this will be over. So it's not what we're going to be talking about 9 months from now.
It's a great headline, but at the end of the day, is it going to be really impactful economically when we're talking about the trade deals that are in play? How is that going to be affected?
You know, I suppose you could conclude that this weakens Trump's hand in the trade negotiations with China because he's just simply a weak president at home. I mean, his domestic political support is very weak. Of course, that is true even without impeachment. I mean, Trump, you know, has never gotten above, I think, a 45% approval rating. Right now, he's around 40 or 41%. If the impeachment would actually hurt Trump to the point where his approval rating would go lower, that would weaken him further. I think that could happen. I think once impeachment becomes a reality, you know, we're in the news business and we're sort of following all these hearings in Washington, D.C. every day. Most people don't have the time for that. They're even if they want to follow, to know what's going on, it's very hard. By the way, I think that's why we're seeing a very streamlined impeachment process here at the end, just 2 articles of impeachment. Some people are saying there should be a lot more. They should be tossing in stuff from the Mueller investigation earlier this year. I think Nancy Pelosi's calculation is keep it simple, stupid. We want voters to be able to understand this, and we also want to move on.
Kiss.
Put it all on the table.
Right.
Yeah.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Well, Rick, stay with us.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.